Our goal tonight really is to provide you with a kind of map, a map for that we hope will help you know how to kind of navigate the sometimes precarious terrain of relationships in the aftermath of cancer. I think many of you here would acknowledge that families and friends were often a crucial resource during your cancer journey, but that depending on sort of how each person emerged from cancer treatment and depending on sort of where each person landed, it can be very difficult to sort of reconnect with people or sort of find one another again. It can be difficult to find yourself again in some ways. So what we're hoping to do tonight in our discussion is to share with you some sort of new ideas and perspectives on relationships, and specifically on some of the kind of roadblocks that can get in the way of connecting with those that are close to you in the context of survivorship. We, in some ways this is really, we want you to kind of see this as kind of a starting point, so kind of a beginning discussion or an opening discussion. We're going to be focusing specifically on communication, which itself is kind of a broad term. And we often see families and couples who come in and say they'd like to learn how to communicate better. And we find that in some ways it seems very straightforward, but I think what we hope you'll come away with tonight is that actually communication can be quite complex and can involve actually multiple factors and multiple influences, and we'll be reviewing some of those tonight. So as I said, think of this as just kind of a starting point. We'll be going over some of the nuts and bolts of communication, but we hope what you come out of tonight is that in some ways this discussion will generate more questions for you, and that these skills will really kind of help you both in the context of cancer survivorship, but also outside of that context as well. So with that being said, in preparing for this talk, Marjorie and I felt it was important to say that we really consider you the expert on your survivorship experience, that you're the expert ultimately on your family life and relationships. And, so we very much hope tonight that you'll add to the discussion and add to our knowledge as well.